Next, a quick word on photos and headlines. We've been talking throughout about getting her attention. Your headline in your photos is your opportunity to do this. So the headline, it's just to get her attention. If you can be positive and make her like you with the headline as well, that's, I guess, even better. But I wouldn't even worry so much about that as to get her to read the rest. You have plenty of time when you get to that about me section and the challenging her section to convey those positive characteristics and get her to like you. The key thing in the headline is just get her to look. Now, a quick word on photos. Take your time with these as well. Make sure you get good photos. Do not do, girls make fun of the mirror selfie, which, I mean, as a guy, I actually don't even see why it should be so bad. But the fact that every girl, they always make fun of it and always say they hate it, probably is a pretty good indicator not to do it. There are things to watch out for, like bad lighting. Don't have shitty photos that you took snapped with your little phone camera, where your face is all blacked out. You can barely even see yourself. Take the time to, if you have a friend who's good at photography, get them to take the pictures. If you have to, go to a professional photographer and get it done right. It's actually worth it to at least get something passable. And then ideally, what you'd like is at least one photo where you look your best physically. At least one photo that's a good headshot where they say, this is an attractive man, right? And even if you're not that attractive, if you're not the handsomest man in the world, a good photo can make you look very attractive, and it can convey your personality. Fortunately for us as men, our per se appearance isn't as important as the look we have and the way we're conveying ourselves and being portrayed. So you don't have to be like Brad Pitt physically. If you get a good photo with good lighting where you look interesting and look like you have a cool personality behind it, that will go a long way. But do get at least one photo where you do look your physical best. Beyond that, I don't mind having another one or two of those. And then you might want to have some photos with friends, photos of you doing cool things, that kind of stuff. That can only enhance the profile. Quick final word on photos, though, is there's a thing I call an unnecessary display of ignorance or incompetence, right? And that is where you have 4 really good photos and then you have one god-awful photo. If you have that, everybody will judge you based on the worst photo. I know, because that's how I judge girls. If I see a girl hot, 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 awful, I'm like, nope, not going on a date with that beast. Okay? So you need to do the same thing as a man, which is I would rather you have 2 good photos than 5 amazing photos and 1 terrible photo. All right? Cut out the bad photos. If there's one that you have questions on, if you're not sure it's good, if in doubt, cut it out. Also, have a female friend, have a guy who knows photography, who knows what he's looking for, look at your photos and give you a critique. It's not bad to get a critique after the fact. And then lastly, there are photo sites that will actually rate photos for you if you want to go down that road. But the thing is, put in the appropriate amount of time and effort. Make sure that you are putting your best face forward, both with the photo and with the headline. It's the first thing the girl looks at, so do it right. Next philosophical thing on the profile is the idea of what I call niche marketing. It is very hard to be the best at everything. In fact, I would say it's impossible. Let's say if you were going to try and design a car, and you're designing the car for everyone, that would be pretty much impossible, because if you try and design it to be fuel efficient, well, there's going to be a car that's more powerful and tows better. If you decide to design it to have lots of space, well, now you're not fuel efficient and now it's hard to park, right? If you decide to make it very economical, you're not making it very sporty. So if you try and make it the best for everyone, you'll probably make it the best for no one. Instead, what do car manufacturers do? They have very niche cars. This is the sporty car. This is the economical car. And they just try and be the best at that exact thing. You're going to be doing the same thing when you're marketing to girls, right? You're not trying to get every single girl to like you. What you're trying to do is, within the type of girl that you're looking for and within the type of guy that you are, be the absolute best of that. Take your personality, the best elements of it, and put it on steroids, and do it unashamedly. Put it out there. And again, loved or hated, not merely liked. So rather than try and be like the preppy guy and the successful guy and the badass guy and the jock and the sort of earthy, herbal, spiritual guy, if you try and do that all at once, you're just going to be a jumbled mess and nobody's going to really resonate with that. Instead, though, if you were like, I'm going to be the bad boy, I'm going to be the best bad boy, that could work. Or I'm going to be the successful guy and I'm going to be the best, the epitome of the successful guy, that could work. So pick what you're trying to convey, who you want to be, both for who you actually are and also for what type of girls you want to attract, and then really hammer home that personality. Do not try and do a mishmash of 10 different things, right? Be loved or hated, be the absolute best to some people rather than all things to all people, right? Ask yourself, would I rather 50 different girls look at my profile and go, he's a nice guy. I'm sure some girl somewhere will message him. Or would you rather 45 of those girls say, fuck him, and 5 girls go, I have to have him inside me right now, right? Because again, you can send 45 messages in an hour. if not a lot faster than that. So, even if you're getting like 5 or 10% really, really loving it, that's 5 or 10% that are fucking sleeping with you. And that's a lot of sex. Okay? So within the online dating realm, it's a numbers game. You're maximizing your time. So you really want to stand out in one particular area. I'd like to close this profile section by teaching you how to be a great writer even if you're a shitty writer. And this is a technique I call borrow from the best. What I essentially would recommend that you do is think to yourself of a list of guys who are very good with girls, and think a list of guys who you admire personally, whether it be for what they've done in like athletics or business or like spiritually, philosophically, whatever. And I want you to come up with, just quickly compile a list of quotes that resonate with you from those guys. Now, by choosing quotes that resonate with you, by choosing quotes that you notice and that stand out and that appeal to you emotionally, even though you're not using your own words the whole way, you are conveying your personality. And that's very important because that means that you're still going to be the same guy on the date that you were when you wrote the profile. That's very critical. This is what's wrong with just copying someone else's profile without thinking about your own personality. Girls might like the profile, but it's not going to be congruent with your messages. It's not going to be congruent with who you are on the date. Okay? So find the quotes, the humor, the statements that really resonate with you, compile them, and then once you have them, I would categorize them into the 3 categories that we did earlier, which is get her attention, convey your personality, and challenge her, right? And make sure that you have quotes in all 3 areas. And then what you do is just pick the quotes you think are the best and sort of string them together so they seem to flow naturally together. That's a quick and dirty way to make a very good profile very quickly. And actually in my 3 Girls a Day program, I go through a whole profile making process where I sit down with a room full of guys and I do actually create a profile with them in 45 minutes. So there's lots of more details there. But this should give you what you need to get started and to create something to get you going right now. Okay? Next, let's get on to messaging.